Hey guys, today we're going to look at volume of rectangular prisms. A prism is a 3D object that looks like a box. Think about an Amazon package coming to your front door. That box is more than likely a rectangular prism. You could also think about a filing cabinet. It has three dimensions, a length, a width, and a height. That could also be thought of as a rectangular prism because all the sides on that box or the filing cabinet are made up of rectangles. Volume is how much space a 3D object can hold. So think about that Amazon package, and when you open it up, think about all the space that is inside of that box. That is considered volume. Something easier to think about is maybe a glass of water. How much water can fill up a glass? That's considered volume. You could also think about a box of cereal. That's a rectangular prism. Think about how much cereal you could fit inside of that box. That is called volume. Volume can be found two different ways. Either length times width times height, or volume equals big B, which is the area of the base, times height. So L stands for length. You'd multiply that by the width. Then multiply that by the height. Or big B stands for the base area, and multiply that by the height. So let's look at this first example. Find the volume of this rectangular prism. Now I have the base shaded for you. It's shaded in green in the video. That base is the bottom rectangle, and big B in the formula volume equals big BH. This right here stands for that green shaded area. So we would find the area of the base and then multiply it by how tall the prism is. So this base down here that's shaded green, one of the side lengths would be 15 and the other side length would be 8.2. So let's go ahead and find the area of the base, and we're going to take 15 and multiply it by 8.2. 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, add a 0, 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we're going to add it up. There's one number after the decimal, so let's count over one time. And I got 123. This represents the area of the base, the shaded green part. Now we're going to take the area of the base and now multiply it by the height. So now 123 times the height, which would be located right here, 6.5. 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6, add a 0. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and let's add it up. So I'm getting the number 7995. There's one number that's after the decimal, so let's count over one time and put our decimal there. So the volume of this prism is 799.5. We're talking about yards, and volume is a three-dimensional topic, so it's yards cubed because of the three different sides. So we found the area of the base first, the green shaded part, 15 times 8.2, and then we took the area of the base and multiplied it by how tall the prism is, which is the height, and so we took that answer times 6.5 to give us 799.5. Remember, there's also another formula that we could have used. and that's called length times width times height. And that's the same thing that we did. We took the length times the width, that answer, and multiplied it by the height of the prism. Alright, let's look at one more. Find the height of the rectangular prism if the volume is 611 and the area of the base, the shaded part, is 65 inches squared. So remember that our formula is volume equals big B, the area of the base, times the height. Well, this time we know the volume is 611, so I'm going to plug that in for the capital letter V. So 611 goes on this side. Big B, the area of the base, is 65, so I'm going to plug that in. And then we're going to multiply it by the height. Well, we don't know what the height is. All we see is the letter H. And so I'm going to do times H. Now we need to work this backwards to figure out what H equals. 65 times something equals H. So to work it backwards and to get H by itself, all we're going to do is divide by 65 because that's the number that we want to get rid of. It's a lot like solving an equation like we've done not too long ago. Whatever you do to one side, we have to do to the other. So all we need to figure out is what is 611 divided by 65. 65 doesn't go into 6, it doesn't go into 61, but it does go into 611. We need to figure that out. Now I know that 65 times 10 would give me 650, which is a little bit too much. So let's try 65 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 4 is 58. So it will go in 9 times. Let's subtract 585. We need to do some borrowing. So 11 minus 5 is 6, 10 minus 8 is 2, and then 5 minus 5 is just 0. Let's add us a decimal next to our answer, add a 0 inside and bring it down. Now 65 will go into 260. Let's try 3 times. So 65 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Well, it might go in some more. So let's try 65 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 6, 24 plus 2 is 28. Sorry, 26. So 65 goes into 260 4 times. So when we divided, we got 9.4. When we divided on this side, that canceled away, and all we had left over was H. So the height of the box would be 9.4 inches. Alright guys, that's volume. All you need to remember right now is length times width times height. Something else that might be helpful is that big B in the formula V equals big BH. Big B stands for the area of the base. There's a couple of different ways you could work it out. You can find the area of the base first by multiplying and then multiply it by the height, or all you really need to think about at this point is length times width times height. Thank you guys for watching.